if I know, I know.
That's why I said if it's gotta be the Unk and the Cracker against the world, it's gonna be the Unk and the Cracker.
That's gonna cook so hard. That's gonna cook so hard. Ooh, it's gonna cook so hard.
Yes, sir.
Especially in the world we live in right now, bro.
Yeah.
Wee.
Oh
It's
my God,
wild, man.
imagine calling an episode that the Unk and the Cracker.
Yeah. You're like, what's going on here?
I'm ready when you are. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and welcome everybody back to a different conversation. This is yet again a different sports show, episode number 146. As you see on the screen, it's Kem and it's me, Thomas Saxby. We are the hosts. So we do have to drop some news, unfortunate news. The polio that Matt had went severe, and that's it. I'm just kidding. No polio jokes. Matt has separated from the show. We wish him the best. We're gonna keep this train going though. So with that being said, let's get right into it. The NBA, we are right around the corner to the playoffs. MLB season's a couple weeks in, and the NFL draft is only a few more days away. So Kem, why don't you start us off? How's it going? What's on top of your mind?
Oh, man, everything's going great, man. As you see, bro, it's happy to be here with you, man. Can't wait till we get back in studio, man. For all the people out there, we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all keep liking, commenting, and subscribing. What's on my mind, though, man, is crazy, right? So a couple of nights ago, right, in the NBA, as we're coming to the end of the NBA season, I don't know if you was tuned into that game with Golden State and Sacramento, right? Did you see the game the other night when Sacramento was leading and they ended up fouling at the end of the game?
Yeah.
It got my mind going, bro. I got to thinking about how much now basketball is actually not even coached, right? I got to thinking about how much you get to see one person do about 25 pick and rolls a game. You know what I mean? And the coaching is literally out of it, right? It's a crazy thing to be able to see when knowing that a lot of the basketball that people depreciate and devalue from the early 2000s and late 90s was heavily orientated in running plays. So at the end of the day, when it came down to clutch moments and things like that, there was a play that was ran, you know what I mean? Or different actions that were ran to get a particular person open, not just run to the corner and wait for the splash pass or the grenade shot. You know what I mean? It's a crazy thing to be able to watch this, man. I know that where I talked about offense didn't really cater too much to the point of these guys tanking. But my point is actually being able to see how much these guys aren't coached. You know what I'm saying? It's a crazy thing. And it even came out, man, and the coach said that he actually was out to lunch. You know what I mean? Like he literally, they weren't tanking.
The NBA investigated him for tanking, and they were just like, yeah, he just stupid.
It was incompetence. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a crazy thing.
I had so much faith in Christie, bro, because he, he cares about being like the Kings and getting them back to a respectable image. He cares deeply, but I don't know, and I also almost don't blame him because it's like that team is just god awful. Like it's one of the worst teams that. You know what I mean? Is like ever put together, like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. And so I want your opinion on this. So there's a guy named Carson Breber. I don't really care about his name. He runs a show called The Nerd Sesh. This guy is smart. He is basketball smart. He knows about players that played in the 40s, like the back of his 40s, 50s. So like his knowledge on basketball runs insanely deep. And he made a post. He said DeMar DeRozan only needs to average 18 points per game for another 105 games, which is basically a season and a quarter. He needs to average 18 points per game, which is doable. And even if it's not, that's like another 2 seasons, which we all know DeRozan has. Another 105 games to surpass Shaq in career points and enter the all-time top 10. And he said, I find this deeply disturbing. DeMar DeRozan replies and says, disturbing? Fuck that mean? Who the hell is you to have an opinion on somebody's career, clown? And then he responds back, Carson, he said, I think it's weird that your teams have been better with you off the court for your entire career, and you are probably going to end up with more career points than Shaq. That's what it means. And then he posted literally DeMar DeRozan's entire career from start to finish. His teams have been better with him off the court. Absolutely fried DeMar DeRozan for no reason. What is your reaction to all that? Because my reaction was like, at first it's like, well, why? Like, I don't. Some fans get so fucking entitled, like
Mm-hmm.
ridiculously entitled. Like, yeah, we talk our shit on here, and we talk shit about certain athletes and stuff. But do you think
Mm-hmm.
that was like too far, or maybe like he has a point, or should DeMar DeRozan have even responded to this guy?
Well, that's three different questions. So the first
Yeah, my,
one, that's three different questions. So let's go backwards to forward. So should DeRozan had responded to it? No. But could DeMar DeRozan respond to it? Yes. He's totally entitled to responding to something like
right,
that when a person who is a personality that does have a show, who is a dope analyst, by the way. You know what I mean? To actually get that correlation or whatever engine they're running to get that correlation is pretty dope. But that doesn't have anything to do with DeMar DeRozan himself and as the basketball player. That's just, you know what I mean, something that you can point out through numbers. That doesn't mean
right.
that that has anything to do with DeMar DeRozan's impact on those teams as well. They just have better records when he's hurt overall. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't have anything to do with where they are when he gets hurt, what position they're in. You know what I mean? Like there's so many
Yeah,
different factors that can go into that. You know what I mean? So for the actual just blurting out of it, you know what I mean? It would hurt for sure. So that's why DeMar DeRozan had something to say because the guy didn't unpack everything like just a little bit like I did. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
yeah, man, I don't really have too much of an opinion on that. This is what we do it for. You know what I mean? The guy had a point in what he was saying, and it's not like he don't have a point. But it's up to DeMar to continue to keep playing, and he better play that. Better average that 18 points for that 115 games or whatever you just said to
yeah.
pass Shaq. He would be nutty to like
Go
not
get
do
it,
both. Yeah,
man.
what are you
Like,
talking about? I don't, you know what I
go
mean? Like, come
go
on,
get
man.
that record, right?
Yeah,
But
that's
no,
what it's
my real opening
about.
take though, I just wanted your thoughts on that because
Yeah,
that
that's
randomly popped
funny.
back into my mind. I was like, I
Mhm,
was looking into that all night last night because
mhm.
it was hilarious. But so my main thing is like, you know what? I've been sitting back. I know I've talked a lot of crap on the New York Knicks this year, which is my team. I'm a New
Ooh,
York Knicks fan.
okay.
But I did some deep dive on some numbers.
Mm,
Going to NBA.com, you play around with some clutch stats.
yeah.
And I really think that maybe I have not been giving this team enough credit.
Yeah, on
Maybe the
paper.
Knicks, yeah, maybe the Knicks do have somewhat of a chance here. And I'm going to
Hmm.
point out some stats here that kind of support that. So they are top 5. Well, not only are they top 5, they're first in net rating and one possession games in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only are they first, they are 20 points better than second place, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Hmm.
Now, the next thing is the Knicks are 8-5 when trailing by one possession in the final 2 minutes of a game. The next team doesn't even have a winning record in that
Hmm.
category.
Hmm.
The NBA defensive ratings in the last 2 minutes when leading by one possession, tied or down, is 58.8, which is 30 points better than second place.
Hmm.
And then the Knicks have a winning record after being down by 1 to 3 points in the final minute of a game. They're the only team in the NBA to do that. The Knicks have the best record in the NBA after leading by one possession in the final 5 minutes. It stretches back. It keeps going 5, 7, 8.
Hmm.
They are built for the moment.
Hmm.
Oddly enough, they're very built
Hmm.
for the moment. I just want to take that moment to say I'm excited for the playoffs. I think it's truly anyone's game. I think the Knicks are in it, the Celtics are in it, the Cavs are in it. We can see other teams going on a run. I mean, I don't think Joel.
Detroit is in it, even
Yeah,
though
I had Detroit.
Cade's
I
back.
forgot Detroit. Thank you because Cade's back
Mhm.
now. Amazingly, Cade is back.
Crazy.
Um, the 76ers I thought had somewhat of a chance, but now Joel
Yeah,
Embiid.
but
I
that
don't know.
dude,
Like God put all the talent in that man, but did not put the health in that guy. Because like there's certain injuries now. Like when he had like the one eye shut, and I thought whatever palsy it was
Bell's
that they said
palsy.
that he had Bell's palsy, and
Hmm.
then now appendicitis. Those are things that don't even have anything to do with
Hmm.
on the court.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yes,
that's where I'm
very,
at.
very at first. Yeah. So the first part of what you said, I kind of love the part about the Knicks. So listen, they got one of the best clutch players in the game. You know what I mean? And
Jalen.
Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? Is a one man show when it comes to clutch moments. Anyway, the only thing about that is that kind of leans into the same thing of what the gentleman was saying about DeMar DeRozan. Half of those instances, I hate that the Knicks are even in. They shouldn't be in those instances to have to
Yeah,
be up by
that's
one
fair.
possession or be, you know what I
Fair.
mean?
Yeah.
And I think that what it is about the Knicks right now that has everybody kind of up in arms. I think that people are resting a little bit. I think it's just how they captured people, you know what I mean, a little
Yeah.
while ago with the same team. Now they got the same team and it's a little bit more, you know what I mean, data driven and more cohesive and playing in just big moments. The game that they played last night for Josh Hart to do what he did, you know what I mean, unexpected is what you
Clutch
need.
3, man.
And two of them, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
two of them. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things, man, whereas though at the end of the day, they are probably the best team outfitted for that. I mean, they already beat the Celtics last
Well,
year.
that
You
and
know what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying, like, I
So,
love
um,
the Knicks team, like, is a
mhm,
playoff built team, like, it's a
mhm.
team that,
They
like,
just got to make
maybe
sure they're
all year
healthy.
it was just another day at the office, and they was just trying
Hmm.
to get to the end. I mean,
Hmm.
we'll see, but like I said, it's gonna be fun, man, the NBA playoffs, and we'll talk on our next episode, we're gonna do a deep dive because I believe by next week, we'll have not only our bracket, but I think we'll be
Hmm.
into the playoff game or
Yeah,
the
the
playing
18th.
game.
The 18th. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, let's go to your team since I just brought up my
Yeah.
team. Let's
Soft
talk
tissue
about the
boys.
Los Angeles Lakers, man.
Yeah. The soft
It's
tissue
not
boys.
over. It's not
Hmm.
over, but
No. Mm-mm.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Well, listen, man, you still got history happening every time LeBron James and Bronny James Jr. steps on the court, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, true.
You know, father and son assisting to one another and things of that nature. And then LeBron last night, man, or the other night here, man, carrying it by himself. What I think it looks like is an old school vintage LeBron. And I think that in all truth, I'm being real with you, depending on how how Houston continues to play, if they're hot as heck, you know what I mean, leading above us right
They
now.
have been a very good team in the
Yeah, they've
last
been hot.
few games.
Yeah, being above us right now. But what I believe though, man, is that if LeBron can play this way, you know what I mean, a little ways into the first round to get both of the boys back, you know what I mean, Austin and Luca, it would be good. You know what I mean? And we have to see how it shapes up, you know what I mean, at the end of
Yeah,
these last couple games here. But yeah, man, I
and
don't know how far he can carry us by himself, but I love what it looks like. He knows how to get the guys in, you know what I mean, involved early and often, you know what I mean, and then just hold the game hostage. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like literally. We got vintage Bron last night, the late step into the
we did.
three,
I like
all of
as a
that stuff. It was
LeBron
crazy.
hater, I can admit we
Yeah,
did
like
get vintage
that was
Bron.
vintage Bron. Like that was
Yes,
all vintage Bron. So at the
it's
end of the day, I could
not
live
wrong.
with that. You know what I mean? In seeing that, as long as our defense stays up to par, you know what I mean, to where as though he can, you know what I mean, get the guys in early and often, and him just pick them apart. You know what I mean? Because we know he's going to get 8 or 9 assists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
10 boards. You know what I mean? 8 boards. You know what I mean?
Lakers,
So that.
they've always had the depth, and I like DeAndre Ayton starting to. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is what I like about the Lakers is like it's very unfortunate that Luka and Austin Reeves got injured, but it's kind of helping guys like LeBron and Ayton like kind of like reestablish themselves in a way heading into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And my God, if DeAndre Ayton could just be who we kind of know
Yes.
that he is, oh
Yes.
my God, it would be beautiful because
Yeah.
this is why I never count out the Los Angeles Lakers, and I really hope that. I mean, I don't hope that the Lakers win the whole thing because I obviously want the Knicks to win the whole thing. But
Mhm.
the reason why I want at least the Lakers to get one good solid chance with these guys, Luka and LeBron, because we know at the end of this season, LeBron's run in LA is done. Like
Yeah.
it's written on the wall. Like it's
Yeah.
over. He's handled it very maturely. It's been, hasn't blown up the way that it might in the off season. But
Mhm.
I want to see just one playoff run because last year was kind of like Luka got traded. They didn't have depth. They didn't have a center. They didn't have none of that.
Mhm.
This year, man, it's like, if LeBron, like you said, if he can kind of play like vintage LeBron, even though he's 41, it's a tough ask.
Mhm.
But if he could just do a little bit of that, Luka come be the killer that he is. Austin Reeves just does his little 20 points per game, and Aiton just get the boards, man. I
But
think
he's
the
been the third
Lakers stack
option.
up against anybody.
Yes, and he's been the third option all year. So
Yeah,
him being the third option all year, but being the first option in the first round of the playoffs, I would take that. You know what I mean? Based on how
yeah,
his play has diminished a bit just with age, like just a little
right,
bit, right?
right.
Just because of attrition and health and stamina and all of the things
Right.
that happens to your muscles. You know what I mean? As you get older, no matter what, even though he's still rising up. You know what
You
I
got
mean?
sciatica,
Yeah,
arthritis,
I mean,
like
all that shit, man. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'll take him as a third option throughout the season with the load
fair.
managing, with him being the first option, with them boys being down in the first round of the playoffs against anybody. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. And
Okay.
let me say
I
that a
like
little
that.
bit stronger. Yeah, hell yeah.
I like that. Hell yeah. And yeah, I mean, our first round matchups in the West at least are secure for the most part, where we're gonna get some good matchups because you're talking Denver and
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota round one,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then Houston and LA round one. We're gonna have some very unfortunate first round exits, no matter
Yeah.
who it is. No
OKC
matter
just gonna
who
be
it is.
sitting back. OKC just gonna be sitting back while everybody fighting it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're gonna get like hold on, let me look at the play-in teams because they're
Mm-hmm.
it's not like that's why I thought like in the West, like that's why I thought it would be a better run for those first two seeds because
Mm-hmm.
my God, like because coming out of the play-in, it's the Suns or the Clippers. I mean, maybe the Warriors, maybe the Blazers, but that would just be food to OKC. But the
Mm-hmm.
Suns and the Clippers, I'm not saying they're out, but I don't think that they can upset the Thunder or the Spurs in a 7-game series. Because with the Spurs too, it's like OKC is number one in
Uh-huh.
offensive and defensive efficiency, but the Spurs are right there on their ass. Like they're
Yeah.
number two. And
Oh, yeah.
shockingly, the Charlotte Hornets are number three. So
Yeah. I
that's
told you,
why
remember
like
throughout the season, they were actually leading the league by like +1, even with a losing record. They were, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy. Go
yeah.
ahead, though.
I
Yeah, they
would
were
love
crazy.
for the Hornets to get that eighth seed. Like I know
Yeah.
there's only like what 2 games left to play. They're tied right now with the 76ers. If the Hornets could get to eighth rather than ninth, I kind of like their chances. Like
Mm-hmm.
because the Pistons and Celtics, they aren't definitive like they're gonna crush some
Right.
teams. And I know
Right.
these teams are thankful that the Hawks are basically out of the play-in too, because
Mm-hmm.
that's another dangerous team. But
Yeah, they
yeah,
super dangerous. But they moved up. I think the Hawks. Hold on, wait, man. Is that the most recent ones? Because I
yeah,
think
the Hawks are in sixth.
yes, there we go.
They're
They're in
tied, they're
sixth.
tied with the Raptors, so they can
There we
even be
go.
fifth.
Yes,
But
that's
I
so
think I
yeah.
think they I think they would. Oh man, Knicks
Oh,
and
I
Hornets. That's a
understand what you
rough
were saying.
matchup.
Got you.
Yeah,
You were saying they're lucky that they're not a play-in team, so that they have to face one of those guys early.
yeah,
Got
because I think the
you. Yeah.
Hawks would beat the brakes off the Pistons or the
Yes.
Celtics. I'm not
Yes.
gonna.
Right now.
The way
Right
they've been
now.
playing ball the last
Yeah.
20
Right
games.
now.
No,
Yes.
not
Right
even
now.
20, like 30. Like
Yes, bro.
they
They
have
yeah.
been one of the best teams.
Yeah. That's
I
why I
don't
was
like.
like trying to catch what you were saying, and I'm happy I
Yeah,
caught. Yeah, because what
yeah.
they
I
giving
hope they
out
move to fifth, man. I
whooping.
don't, I don't, I don't want the Knicks to see the Hawks. I want the Knicks to
Yeah,
see the
they giving out
Raptors.
whoopings right
But,
now, buddy. Mm,
but that's what I mean. So the Hornets, what I was saying with that is that right now they're in ninth. If they
mhm,
finish eighth, they don't have to play 2 games.
mhm.
Well, they don't have to fight 2 games. They have to
Right.
win one out of two instead of winning two.
Exactly.
So, if the Hornets can do that, if they can get eighth seed, they're dangerous, man. Because like I said, they're
Mhm,
one of the best teams in the NBA. Like the Hawks
mhm.
are just randomly, and that's what I love
Yeah.
about this season is that it feels like true talent finally like fucking prevails,
Yeah.
I love to see it. So speaking of the Hornets, Con
Mhm.
Knippel and Cooper
Yeah.
Flagg, this seems like
Yeah.
a really close race for Rookie of the Year, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the guy that turned a team into a winner? Or do you prefer the guy that has the better stats and maybe the better like outlook in regards to, who's going to be a better player down the road? Who do
Mhm.
you think is the Rookie of the Year? Who do you pick?
So, man, listen, man, this one for me is really, really hard because you just laid it out. You laid it up. Like, I really don't, you know what I mean? Anything that I would say would be, you know what I mean? Just pontificating the shit you just said, right? Because one,
Pontificate.
literally, because one is literally, because one is making the team better. The other one came in. Listen, man, if you think about our prediction and all of the
Yo, our prediction was
different
spot on, you and me,
you hear
bro.
I'm trying to tell you, right? You hear
Yeah.
this shit? So it's kind of crazy, right? The boy, I'm gonna be honest, man, just with the you said it, but his upside is so up. And I haven't seen this in a long time, you know what I mean? And just watching basketball in a young white dude that isn't just resorting to shooting. Nah, you hear what I'm
Yo,
talking
ain't
about?
it crazy that it's two white dudes?
Listen, and now and ain't that crazy? Like, yes, right. But here's the fly stuff is that Coop is inside out, top to bottom, Khan is too with a head full of steam. He's not scared of nothing, but he just got a
At
sweeter
all.
stroke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
Pause, but yeah.
yes, like yeah, pause. Thank you. Definitely, it's wetter. Damn, pause. Like you know,
Bro.
like literally though. But hey, I'll just make the motion. You know what I mean? Not say nothing. But I gotta go with Coop. I'm gonna still go with Coop, man. I'm gonna still go with Coop. Yeah.
And you know what? I think this is where we disagree. But at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I don't think you can go wrong with either.
Mhm.
I'm going
Mhm.
with Khan because it's
Okay.
like, bro, like
Okay. I
the
can't. Yeah.
maturity that this guy came into the league with,
Yeah.
like what he has done for Charlotte, bro. Like this ain't
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball, this ain't Bridges, this ain't the
Mhm.
guys that we thought would take this team where it
Mhm.
needed to go. It's
Mhm.
been Khan Knipple's addition because they've
Mhm.
had Brandon Miller for the last couple of years. They've had LaMelo, they've had
Mhm.
Bridges, they've had these guys. It's
Mhm.
just the addition of Khan Kniple. And I know Rookie of the Year isn't about the record. It isn't about that. But it's like when you talk impact as a
Mhm.
rookie, Khan Kniple just coming in and being as mature as he is, shooting the ball as good as he is, getting them to a winning record like he is. I gotta go with him. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, Kem, I
Mhm.
can't go against Cooper Flagg. Like I can't be
Mhm.
mad
Mhm.
if he wins because putting up a 50-point game at 19 years old?
Yeah.
What?
And
Like the stuff
40s
that he's
multiple
done,
times, 30s multiple
he
times.
he
Like,
reminds me of LeBron James, and I don't mean like play style or anything like that. I
mhm.
mean like because Cooper Flagg came into this with unreal like people were saying he's going to be the next best thing.
Mhm.
Like it was
Mhm.
similar to Zion, and we haven't had
Mhm.
that. It went LeBron, and then we hadn't had those expectations. I think it went to like Kyrie, and then
Mhm.
it went all the way to we haven't had these expectations since a long time for guys like
Mhm.
Wemby, Cooper Flagg, those type of guys. And he came in and he embraced it and he embraced it on a sour franchise. The Dallas
Mhm.
Mavericks are a disaster,
Yeah, it
but
all
he
fell apart.
stormed
Yeah.
that. He stormed the
Yeah.
weather, played just about every game, and
Mhm.
he went off 50-point games, 40-point games, you name it. So, like I
Mhm.
said, Kem, I know maybe you were looking for a debate on that one, but at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
It's such a
Nah.
good race. It's such a
Nah.
good race.
Nah, it's really, really good, man. Coop did everything he was supposed to do. The team we saw fall apart right in front of him as we saw everything grow for Concanipple. Now, Concanipple, all Charlotte was missing was that anyway. Whether it was if the name was Con, it could
Good
have been,
point.
you know what I mean? Like that's
Good
what
point.
Charlotte was missing. But Con happened to be ready for the job. Now, if we flip this was actually what it was supposed to look like for Coop's insertion into Dallas with the sum of all parts being as it was,
Yeah, it was the number
right?
one pick. Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
we would have, and the way that the team was constructed with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Gafford, all those boys at the beginning of the season before, I
Yeah.
mean, when, you know what I mean? Before now Kyrie was already hurt, but they had gotten DJ, I mean,
Yeah.
or D'Angelo Russell, excuse me, I said DJ, to fill that gap initially, right? So it was a team that was still constructed to kind of have the rhythm that Charlotte has, but they didn't. And we actually saw Khan's insertion blow up and
Right.
Coop just rise to the occasion. So now that at the end of the day, what I will say is we wouldn't see this development from Coop if he had to be Khan Knipple for Dallas right now. But with it all falling apart, we actually get to see Coop in the race for the MVP. He wouldn't have been in the race for the MVP if the sum of all parts were there for Dallas playing the way that they should have been, if you ask me.
Yeah, man. And I like I said, I agree with that. And it's like when
Okay.
people get out of their feelings about the Luka trade, I
Mm-hmm.
think we'll look at this Dallas situation like, what if?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
if Kyrie was healthy? What if
Mm-hmm.
AD was healthy? What if,
Mm-hmm.
all of that? When it comes to the Rockets, like they're gonna get the beat up Lakers and the Nuggets are gonna get the beat up Timberwolves.
Yeah.
In all likelihood, they're probably gonna those two teams will win, their playoff matchups. But you never know with Ant, you never know with
Respectfully.
LeBron. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You never know with all that.
Respectfully.
So that's what keeps it fun. But the Rockets and the Nuggets, man, they got hot at the right time.
Uh-huh.
They're looking good. How do you feel about
Yes.
either team?
So we can talk about either. So the Nuggets, I believe that they're a steady ship, you know what I mean, that waits for this opportunity, and they are a postseason team way more than they're a regular season team. I believe you get to see just the dominance and the showcase of the best player, you know what I mean, on the planet whether 1, 2, or 3, however you want to put him in, Nikola Jokic every night.
Agreed.
He's going to show up. Okay. And then with the emergence of Jamal Murray, man, anybody just looking at the stats and what this,
we had a blowout argument.
you know what I mean? Anybody looking at stats, he's had an incredible season, bar, you know what I mean, not having his injury-riddled seasons like before, help keeping that ship steady with the new pieces that they got, right? They got Cam in there. They paid Braun, who ended up getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? They brought back Brown. So I love Denver. I already know my boy WTD Brick's going to be all over this because, you know what I mean, he a Denver fan and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it really, they actually are a well-oiled machine. Then to actually watch the Joker get busy on Wemby, you know what I mean, kind of, you know, and tapping the rookie on his back, letting him know, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, man, this is what we do at this time of year. You know what I'm saying? Was real good. Now, as it pertains to Houston.
I love that. I love that call out.
Yes, sir. This is what we do during this time of year, right? But now, as it pertains to Houston, what I will say is now, listen, we got a bunch of young boys, man, that's dogs, man. You know, one of the guys I put on my team, number 1, you know what I mean, for 2 in people under 24 in the NBA right now, right? And Amen Thompson and those guys are actually really, really hot. Listen, I'm loving Reed Shepherd. He's stepping into the role really, really well. Listen, not a liability at all. Totally an asset.
After riding 3rd string last year too.
You hear what I'm talking about, bro? Really, really nice. KD still a bucket, you know what I'm saying? Letting them boys know, listen, you can rely on me, but also trying to make sure that they always are going. Sengun still trips me out sometimes, man, with his overall point
This was the first, because you know me, I've been a big Sengun fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this year was the first year I was
he tripping me out, but I know that they had to kind of do that with Fred VanVleet being down, you know what I mean? Like, have, you know what I mean, assert the responsibility to, you know what I mean, that way. But at the end of the day, man, like, I can't complain too much. I think that if we do have to match up with these boys right away, listen, man, it's going to be a tough out. I'm looking for a 7-game series, you know what I mean, right away.
Yeah, and I think it'll be that. I think the Rockets are going to get into a lot of 7-game series, but man, dude, it's there's something feels different about Kevin Durant this year. Like, he feels more of a leader. It feels more like he wants it more. He cares more. He's been more of a teammate. Because there's been a lot of games where he's just sat back and let them do, you know, their young thing. And then at the end of the day, man, this Nuggets team, like, people need to wake up. It's like you said, people really need to wake up, because it's like Cam Johnson does things that Michael Porter Jr. didn't do. Like, he doesn't shoot you out of games. If his shot's not there, he's just going to do everything else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they needed. Like, Michael Porter Jr. was kind of like, if he's on, great. But if he's off, he's just he's just there, and it's not good. So yeah, man, these two teams, man, it's like you said, like, the Spurs and Thunder, they don't got it easy, man. It's gonna be a bloodbath. And again, I know I've mentioned it already in this show, but I cannot wait to see how this shakes out. It's gonna be a fun playoff.
Yes.
So why don't we give you the spotlight, Kem? Why don't you take us through history like you always do? Lay it out there. Let's see what you got today.
All right, bet, man. So listen, you know, like I always like to do, I like to give you a bunch of stats and stuff like that before we actually get into it, right? To kind of see if you can get an idea of who I'm talking about. Now, listen, man, you're going to have to, this is like going into a Skittles bag and what I'm about to give you right now, okay? So now, in his career, he played 18 seasons, right? 1995 to 2013. At his peak in 2000, 2001, he averaged 30. Career overall average, though, is 16.9, again, because he played a span of 18 seasons, right? 2-time All-Star, one of those guys that you would consider a tough shot creator, right?
Okay.
What I would also say, before we got caught up in like efficiency, space, and threes, this dude came out of North Carolina and he was built different. Any guess?
Who you got?
All right, listen, I'm going to give you just a little bit more. Explosive, physical, downhill pressure. You could already see it. Not really finesse, but a lot of force.
The only Jerry Stackhouse?
Yeah, I said it for you. Jerry Stackhouse.
No, I was going to say Tracy McGrady for some reason. Yeah, but keep going.
All right, listen, check it out, right? So then he got to the league, and I need you to lock in on this one, right? Because, again, he was 18 years in the NBA. Let me say it again, 18 years, my boy. All right. That's not just talent, that's ability, toughness, and respect around the league. And he ain't do it in just one place. He did it in Philly, Detroit, Washington, Milwaukee, Dallas, Miami, Atlanta, and in Brooklyn. That's a
And
career.
overseas.
Yes, sir. Give it up.
Overseas
From a
legend.
young scorer to an elite bucket and then a respected vet, right? But let's not skip his prime because that's why he built different for me and why I want to take you through his history, right? Stackhouse gave you 30 points a game in a slow paced physical era with defenders hand checking. He'd give you 30 in that, right? There's
That was
no
before they changed the rule.
literally no spacing to save you, right? You're trying to get to the bucket or back you down to the bucket, right? Mid-range assassin, I hope you know that. Attack first mentality, lived at the line. Now, if we talking about today, because this is why we want to take you through history, you put Stackhouse in this league, 25 to 28 easy. You ain't got no hand checking. The thing you highlighted. Easy living downhill.
What I love about this is that every time we get to this segment, you always bring up a guy that would absolutely fry people in today's game, like Baron Davis. You mentioned Ray Allen, and now Stackhouse. I respect it. You guys make sure you guys like and subscribe and get a part of the conversation because Unc be cooking.
I'm trying to tell you,
My apologies.
I appreciate you. No problem. Listen, in that mid-range that everybody sleep on, but Shea is living in, is playoff basketball. He will be cooking dudes, right? He's a mix of DeMar DeRozan's footwork, Booker's scoring, but way more physical than both of them dudes. You understand what I'm saying? That's who Jerry
Which would be
Stackhouse
nasty
is.
today. Yeah.
Bro, listen, don't get it twisted. Stackhouse wasn't just a scorer. He also survived across two eras, y'all. He moved into an era, and again, with Tom highlighted, he moved overseas, right? Now, at the end of the day, I just want to say, shout out to Jerry Stackhouse. That was their time through history, bro.
Hell yeah, and he's one of those guys that like when people talk about you know when people say, "Oh, who's the best? Who had the best prime and all that?" He's never mentioned, and I
It's
hate that
crazy. Yeah,
because he
it's
had a
crazy.
crazy, insane prime. Like he was one of those guys that like
Mm-hmm.
when I started watching basketball, he was one of those highlight tapes that I would love going to because it's like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it was that physicality because it wasn't just normal physicality, it was that you're not going to stop me physicality.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
like over his career developing into that really good veteran role player, that was the icing on the cake for me. I love Jerry Stackhouse. Good mention. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Appreciate
what we're gonna do now
it.
is
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is a little bit more of a debate. We're gonna make a list of the top 10 current players in the NBA, but we have to come to some sort of an agreement. So we're gonna argue. Sometimes Kem's gonna have to sacrifice. I'm gonna have to sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
come up with a top 10 in the NBA right now.
Okay.
So I think we can agree with number one though.
Okay.
Hopefully, SGA, right?
Yes, absolutely.
About to be a two-time MVP, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
two-time back-to-back champion. I think that's undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you
Mm-hmm.
have second?
Second, I got Nicola.
We agree. We
Yeah,
agree. Joker, number
Mm-hmm.
two.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. We have so much talent in the league these
Mm-hmm.
days. I love that. Like these
Mm-hmm.
archetypes, like SGA and Jokic, are 1 and 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where it gets interesting for me because I know
Mm-hmm.
people can say Luka here, Wemby here. I actually think that Anthony Edwards is the third best player in the NBA.
I don't.
Okay. Who do you got?
So listen,
Because for
he's still
me,
there.
like Wemby for me is
Man, what?
unproven.
Oh,
Like
how you
he's
whoa.
proven, but go
All
ahead.
right. But wait, no. How are you skipping Giannis? Just
I
because
mean,
he's in this
with the
gap
year he,
year, but he's in a gap year, like trying to figure out if he want to
yeah.
stay or if he want to go. We covered this a bit much, right? Also, your Knicks better watch out because if they lose early in this playoff, Giannis will be in the city this year. But
Whatever health
that's
you
gonna.
have left is going to Milwaukee.
That's a fact. He will be in the city next year. But other than that, my fault. Listen, man, 31, 11 rebounds, 6 assists a game. Still, what are you talking about?
I
What are
mean,
you
it's
talking
just like
about?
with the down year and with how Anthony Edwards' trajectory is becoming one of the best shooters in the league, coming, into being one of the best defenders in the league,
Mm,
carrying that group of clowns, like you can see it. Without Anthony Edwards on that team, they are
Yes, I
garbage.
agree.
They are
I
full-fledged
agree.
garbage, and so are the Bucks. So,
Yes.
I can't
I
argue one
agree.
over the other, but it's
Mhm.
just I don't know, man. Something really I don't wanna say turn me off, on Giannis this year because I got him at 6 on
Mhm.
this list right now, but
Mhm.
that's only
Uh-huh.
because I've seen more of Wemby, Luka, and Ant over this year,
And
and I
that
think that
is
drops him a little bit, just a
all
little bit.
right. Yes. Now, but listen, we're saying in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
So what we know, and when we're saying right now, what will we classify as right now window?
No, no, your definition's right. You got the right idea, like,
Okay.
not like this season, but like the overall top
Hell
10 in the
yeah.
NBA.
We're
And
just seeing we're
I could
just
give you
seeing this
4,
out of
man.
but we're just seeing this out of Wemby for the first time. We're just
Yeah,
seeing
I
this
have Wemby at
out of
5
Wemby.
in my list.
Yeah, we you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he's jumping people off of one season. There's no way he can jump Giannis after one season.
I respect that. Okay, I
There's
respect
no
that because
way
that's
he can
why I
jump
put him
Giannis.
5th. I didn't put him, like, 3rd or
Yeah,
anything crazy.
he can't jump
But
Giannis
we
after
still gotta
one
see him
season.
in the playoffs, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
like we don't know,
But
like
with
what?
Giannis, man,
Mhm,
I think it's time to call a spade with Giannis. I love Giannis, but them injuries he's had over these last few years have
mhm,
kinda just knocked him down just a little bit for me. It's not that I don't respect his game. It's
mhm,
not that I don't respect what he does on the court, but
mhm,
it's like the dark couple of years before this year
mhm,
also had to do with the fact that Giannis couldn't get to the finish line and be there for them in the playoffs because
mhm,
he's been
mhm,
injured. And then this year, whether you want to call it fake injuries or not, like them injuries are concerning. It was a Achilles or no, not Achilles, calf injuries all
mhm,
year.
mhm.
That's what concerns me. But I could put him higher than 6. But you have him over Ant.
You know how I feel about Ant. I'm just
Yeah,
saying right now because at the end of the day, Ant is about to be. Listen, Ant had a gap year. This is a gap year for Ant right now.
is it?
Yes,
I mean,
bro.
I know he got a little hurt at the end, but
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
still
yeah,
like
yeah.
amongst
But
the top 3-point, top of the top
yes,
defense.
but he was chipped up all throughout the year, and then now he's missed like the last 10 out of 12 games.
Okay.
You understand? Well, 11 games now, I think. You know what I mean? So this is putting his team in
Oh,
jeopardy. So what it is, and that's the other part. Now, this I don't want to take away from our conversation, but these two players specifically, you just highlighted their usage. So their usage is has everything to do with the knick-knack entries that they get. You understand
yeah.
what I'm saying? Literally. Just check out dudes like AI and shit like that that played through all of that kind of stuff, and then at the end, you know what I mean, wasn't too good when he had to settle down into a more slower type of more up pace, but not as high flying, more you know what I mean, type of offense. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
I hear
man,
you. I
those
hear it.
guys who are super high user rated like that, you gotta allow them a little grace, man,
Yeah,
because
I'll give you
like,
one
come
more
on, man.
argument for Ant. So, but I think
Okay.
are we agreeing that Ant and Giannis are 3 and 4?
Yes.
Whatever. Okay.
Yes, we could
Okay.
do anything with that. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So
Absolutely.
my last
Mhm.
argument for Ant over Giannis is bro, 2 straight conference finals, a lot of it
Mhm.
on his back. We don't know what's gonna happen this year, but the one thing I could tell you ain't gonna happen this year, Giannis
Giannis ain't
ain't in
gonna
the
be there.
playoffs.
Yeah, don't do that to me because you already know that that's my argument for y'all with Ant against anything, right? You know that's my argument. It's just that when it comes to this boy, man, this dude, I ain't gave up on Giannis and what I seen him do. That per possession dominance is different. Now, AE is growing into that. Ant Man is growing into that per possession dominance. But
Oh,
come
yeah.
on, man, word up. Who have you seen with that per possession dominance like we've seen Giannis in when he's in tip
Okay.
top? You know what I
You
mean?
got
Like
me. I
that
will
kind of shit.
Giannis 3, Anthony Edwards 4. So
But he
do you
got it.
have
He
so I think
flips if
5
he
and
don't have a
6
good
is
this year.
yeah, I think 5 and 6 is Wemby and Luka in whatever order.
Absolutely. I
So would
agree.
you say Luka 5, Wemby 6?
Either way.
Okay, because my issue with Luka and why I can't put him like too high,
Hmm.
and you know
Hmm.
me, I'm a big defender of Luka. I love his game, but it's like, bro, he can't get to the finish line. When have you seen him get to the finish line? Because if you think about it, right? Think about the year that they made the finals. He was so beat up, he was irrelevant in the most important series of the year. When they went on that improbable run where they beat the Suns, he got hurt against the Warriors the very next series. He was fat like last year. He was hurt and couldn't get that or not last year, the year before the finals. when they didn't make the playoffs, him and
He
Kyrie,
was hurt
because
in a
he wasn't
trade.
on the court to develop the chemistry with Kyrie, and they just blew the playoffs. And then this year, like everything was looking great. He put up, I think, the fourth most points in a month in NBA history. Like that was insane. But you gotta get to the fucking finish line. I don't
But
care.
that's
Like a
how
lot
it's
of
done
people
now.
say his
Wow.
defense, like defense. I don't care about that shit. I mean, I care about it, but like I'm a big believer, and you hate it. I'm a big believer where his offense is his defense in a lot of cases. Like I said, agree to disagree. We've had that argument many times before. But I can't put him too high because now it's coming into its health. If you can't get across the finish line, what can you do for me? You know what I'm saying? We're going to criticize Embiid as heavily as we criticize Embiid, but he can't, Luka can't get to the finish line either. I mean, Embiid, it's a little bit more, embarrassing, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right, so we got the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you have at 7?
Tatum when he's up to par.
Yes, I agree. He is my number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a thing with him. It's like, I've been a big hater of Jason Tatum, but I'll say the one thing is that when he's on, and even when he's off, he can do things on that court. And you're seeing that a lot when he came back, playing the best defense he's ever played. To put himself as a guy who just came off of a potential career-threatening injury,
Mm-hmm.
an injury that we're only seeing Tyrese Halliburton get into 5-on-5s like 2 days ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
we haven't even heard anything really about Dame's progression. And the fact that Tatum just came back in the playoff form is
Mm-hmm.
actually really impressive to me. And the fact
Yes.
that he's willing to put his body on the line on the defensive end of the ball the way that he has, and rebounding and being active in the passing lanes and passing the ball in general, I agree. Tatum 7.
Yeah,
And a lot of
27 to
people,
29, 8 reaps, 5 assists a game. His two-way ability was already there before the Achilles injury. You understand what I'm saying? But actually seeing him just being more team oriented and just not,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like the
the
actual,
sacrifice, bro.
you know what I
Like
mean?
that.
You see it there in him getting back to himself. You know what I mean? It's a really good thing to see. It's a really good thing to see.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So who do you have at 8?
Number 8, man, I gotta go with man, listen, man. This dude jumped for me, right?
Okay.
Because we were about to kind of, get into something with Steph and KD, but I'm a
Glad you did.
kind of
I'm glad you deterred from that a little bit because I have an argument against Steph. I just want to see where you're actually going to put him.
So listen, man, where I'm gonna go, this dude jumps, right? This guy stays at 8 for me, though. We're at 8,
Okay.
right? We're at 8, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, we gotta keep easy money right there, right? Easy
Okay.
money
All
still
right.
number 8 for me, right? 27 still getting that 50, 40, 90, no
And
matter what,
yeah, I was
all
gonna
the
say I
time.
don't think I can argue that because like I
You
have
know
him
what I
at
mean?
10. I have him at 10
Yeah.
on my list,
Nah, listen,
but
I got a 9 for you, man, that I think is different. You know what I'm saying? That
but yeah, before we go to 9, I agree with
mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant at 8.
Okay.
He's amazed me this year because he's
Mm-hmm.
old, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually entered
Mm-hmm.
like it's what we saw with LeBron. And like
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I was gonna argue with you about Steph is
Mm-hmm.
because like we're actually seeing a regression with Steph. Yeah, he could come in and he could give you like 30, 40 like some nights, but it's like he's putting up stinkers. His team's been in the play in the last few years. He hasn't really been able to be that engine that we always know that Steph is. Whereas on the other end with Kevin Durant, like he's there. He's been very healthy in his old age too. And
Mm-hmm.
he took a risk and went to a team that needed a number 1. They needed a guy. And a lot of people were like, Kevin Durant is not that guy. Kevin Durant should go to a team that's stacked. Kevin Durant should, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, the Rockets are stacked,
Mm-hmm.
but they're stacked in a different way. And the way he's been
Right.
able to step up and lead and everything, yeah, I agree. Kevin Durant, I'm all for it. Greatest scorer of all time. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Number 9 for me. Who do you got?
I got Cade.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
to give Cade some love here because he's
Mm-hmm.
been very exceptional, and this is 2 years in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
And this year specifically leading them to the number 1 seed. Did they play well without him? Of course. I think that a lot of that goes to JB Bickerstaff. But what Cade does and what he does on the defensive end of the ball as well, on top of, 20, 26, I think it's 26, 9, and 8, somewhere around there. He's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to be the next one to average a triple double. I love his game, and being the one sole big player on that team. Like, I know. You don't agree. All right, lay down. You're done. No more.
Nah, I guess he doesn't agree.
Yeah, right? But yeah, do you agree? That's the important part.
No,
Cade.
I don't.
No.
Listen, man, I'll get him there. Listen, I'll get. So listen, what I will do is I'll allow us to kind of give a 9A, 9B. So for me, I'm gonna go with Tyrese Maxey, even though he's nicked up right
Oh,
now.
that's good.
Yeah, I
I
got to go
forgot
with
about
Tyrese.
him. That's good.
Man, that 28 is hard to forget about, man. That 6 assists, that 2 steals,
And
38
the
minutes a game.
efficiency.
Yeah, man, 38
And the
minutes
ability
a
to
game.
carry this team while you got dude doing steroids, dude injured, you got all this other stuff, trades that shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
respect it because I honestly, because I have Donovan, I have Donovan Mitchell at 10,
Okay.
but I feel it, and I don't know if this is a hot take. I would take Maxey over Donovan Mitchell any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we agree. That's why
Okay.
he's on. That's why he is where he is.
Okay.
We
All right.
agree for
Maybe
sure.
I do want to. I might turn that into a short and get that out there to the people because I know some people would disagree. Who do
Mm-hmm.
you got? Who would you guys rather have? Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell. I think it's close for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you want consistency, you want a
Yeah,
guy that like goes above
yeah.
and beyond. I got Maxey.
It's
Not
Maxey, man.
not saying anything bad about Mitchell. He'd be 11th here.
Mhm.
But who was your? So with that was 10, right? Cade
No,
and
that was
Maxey
9.
9 and 10.
Yeah, no, I gave them 9 A and 9B.
Oh, okay. So you're still gonna give a 10, like honorable
Yeah,
mention.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. My number
Who you
10.
got there? Because
Yeah, I
mine would
got
be
Steph.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
But
mine
yeah.
gonna be Steph. Mine gonna be Steph,
Okay.
man. No, man. Listen, greatest shooter God ever created. You understand what I'm saying? It's still
To
out
be
here.
feared.
I can't. Come on, man.
And that
I
10th
can't.
seed, you can't count him out. You can't
Come
count him out
on,
even at
bro.
10.
Like, come on. Stop playing, man. At the end of the day, right? He still puts on the greatest show on the NBA floor every night he plays, regardless of how great
This was his
OKC
generation,
is.
man.
You understand what I'm saying? He is the NBA. So at the end of the day, regardless of how it's packaged, you know what I mean? In the
I
other,
like that
you
take.
know what I'm
I
saying?
like that take. He is the NBA because he is. I mean,
Yeah,
everything
without a
that's
question.
kind of going on now is formulated. The good things have been formulated around Steph. I think the
Absolutely.
bad things have been formulated about LeBron, but that's a conversation for a different day.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
if
Okay.
that makes sense, what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. So overall, we got SGA number
Mm-hmm.
1,
Yep.
Jokic number 2,
Yep.
Giannis number 3,
Yep.
Anthony Edwards number 4, Luka
Yep.
Doncic number 5, Wemby
Mm-hmm.
number 6,
Yep.
Tatum number 7, Kevin
Yep.
Durant number 8,
Yep.
Cade Cunningham and
And
Tyrese Maxey tied 9, 10. I
mm-hmm.
whatever you guys want to put for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then 11 honorable mention Steph. Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm. Easy money.
like that
That's
list.
yeah.
That not too many tough arguments. A little bit of debates.
Nah.
I like it. We're kind of
Yeah,
on the
that's
same page. We'll
yeah,
take it.
man.
We'll
Yeah,
take it.
the eyes is working and the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
So
yeah. So let's before we get out of here, I want to
mhm,
talk about your biggest what if in sports. And I
mm,
said list a couple. So I want to
mhm,
hear what you got.
mm.
I'll lead off with maybe one that not a lot of people think about at all.
Okay.
I
Okay.
haven't heard this one out of anyone's mouth but mine, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone out there can catch me in a lie. But I want to say, what if the San Francisco 49ers beat the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl of the Harbaugh brothers? Now, you might be thinking like, well, why is that a what if? But you got to think about all the things that could have happened after that. Now, we know Baltimore Ravens Harbaugh, we know that he got carried to 10 plus years in that organization because of that one championship ring, right? What if after he lost that and those
uh,
times that they underperformed after, he actually gets fired and isn't the one that mentors Lamar Jackson and believes in Lamar Jackson and gets
mhm,
Lamar Jackson to automatically being number one? Because
mhm,
remember, Lamar Jackson got passed by everybody. It was Harbaugh that was like, this is my guy. I want
mhm,
him starting day, like you know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Well, not day one,
mhm,
but like I want him in this franchise. The other side of that is, what if the other Harbaugh wins, like I said, and he ends up not going to Michigan and cheating. He ends up
mhm,
actually staying in the NFL, That whole thing in Michigan doesn't happen because he never has to go to college. Because remember, he only went to college because he wasn't finding success in the NFL. If we're being straight honest about that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing is, where
Uh-huh.
does that put our guy Colin Kaepernick in the history of things? Does
Mm-hmm.
him kneeling actually take him out the league, knowing that he's a Super Bowl champion? Does that
Mm-hmm.
confidence of being a champion carry into him winning an MVP? Because we know he had the talent. We know he
Mm-hmm.
could run. We knew he could pass. We knew he arrived in the clutch. So
Mm-hmm.
many what ifs come from that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And yeah,
I like that. I like
yes.
that. That's a great what if for the NFL, right? So
There's not a
listen,
lot,
man.
nobody really talks about it, but,
Yeah,
like,
that's a great
if
what if.
that swung differently, like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not even talking about, like, obviously, we
Mm-hmm.
respect Ray Lewis, but that's one less ring for Ray Lewis as well.
Yeah,
We
that's
gotta
a great what if
yes,
it goes down different for a whole nother brother. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It goes down different for a whole nother brother, man. So yeah, that's a wild one. I like that, man. So my what
yeah,
if is a bit different, but I'm gonna stay in the vein of where we at in the NBA.
and we're a
Listen,
different conversation,
it's
so
totally a different conversation, right?
yes,
So check this out. This is one that I know is talked about, but let's talk about the what ifs in a different way. What if the claw stayed healthy from 2017 to
mm,
2024? And if you don't
oh,
know what claw I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. The immediate impact, let's say 2017, Spurs upset the Warriors
yes.
for NBA title, right? That's immediate impact, right?
Yeah, because they were on their ass. Them Spurs
What?
were on their ass until, Zaza did what he did.
Absolutely, right? Then you get Kawhi talked about because there was a moment where he was in consideration for the best two-way player. He's
He's the best
actually
player in the league. Yeah,
listen, he's actually talked about that. He would be talked about that for sure
it's a
all of
good
this
one.
time. There's no way about that he wouldn't be, right? Then we also know that there's no dynasty that actually happens, right? Think about that, right? Because in that
One less
27
ring.
absolutely. It's not considered, you know what I mean? So let's think about that. They have to do some rebuilding. We don't know what happens when the contract year comes up. Do they still actually
He
believe
coulda
that they
stayed
can
in
do it
San
with
Antonio,
Draymond?
yeah.
Yes. What happens over there, right? The
Oh, he
whole
would've
thing,
been he would've been a Spurs lifer. The
without
Spurs
a
would have
question.
probably ended up the greatest
But
dynasty
I'm
of all
talking about what if they upset the actual Warriors in
yeah,
their run? What do the Warriors do? You understand what I'm saying? Do
that's
they
true.
stay with that actual makeup? Does Draymond Green get to stay being the engine that could for them, knowing that Kawhi Leonard is who he is in that two-way type of oh, come on, man. Anyway,
That's a
so
good
now the
point.
last thing that I want to say is I believe exactly what you just said. You culminated it for me. Those injuries robbed him of an actual other Spurs dynasty that I believe everybody was waiting for and could have saw. That was
Yeah,
is one of the greatest what ifs
because
if he
I'll
never
say
leaves
something
and actually stays there from 17 to 2024. Kawhi Leonard in San
yeah.
Antonio would have been crazy. And they probably would have took care of his body a whole lot better than you know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean? But he was
yeah.
acting like he didn't trust them because he was partially nicked up. Do you remember
Yeah,
like
oh,
half
yeah,
of that
yeah,
stuff
like,
that was going
they
on?
all turned on each other, that's how that
Yeah,
ended,
like
yeah.
it was so
Like, because
wild, like, you
he
know what I
got
mean?
hurt, and then, like,
Mhm.
Ginobili and Tony Parker were making, like, comments, like,
Mhm.
like, stuff
Like
like
he
that.
could play and he wasn't
Yeah.
playing yet. Like even back then, you understand what I'm saying? So it was one of
And
those things.
that wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have drove him
Mhm.
away because, like, if
Mhm.
he didn't get hurt. And I'll
Yeah,
say
man.
this, man, in regards to your what if, I think that what am I about to say? Well, because then you would take away the Toronto ring, but I don't think that
All
would
of that.
matter because I think he wins
Yes.
like 3. I think
Yes.
he wins 3 more in San Antonio.
Come on,
And I
son.
think
Like,
he
it's
ends up
crazy.
being right now as we stand, he would be top 10, inching into the top 5,
Mm.
maybe even past that.
Come
And
on, bro.
damn, because that's a lot of ramifications because if the Warriors dynasty don't happen, what are we
Yes.
saying about Steph?
That's what
You
I'm
know what I'm
talking about. There's
Yeah.
so much stuff. Like I think him and Clay is going down as the Splash Brothers and no matter what, but I don't know
Yeah, yeah,
how
but they
that
would have been more
developed.
fun than they would have been
Yes.
legitimate, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It would have been the regular San
Because they still would have
Francisco
had their 1
or
ring, maybe they get
yeah, bro.
another,
Yes,
but
maybe.
Kawhi, maybe this is a stretch.
Mhm,
I say Kyrie Irving is the most talented player that I've ever seen. Kevin Durant's the greatest scorer that I've ever seen.
mhm.
Kawhi Leonard's the best player that I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was
Like
really
Kawhi
dominant.
Leonard at his peak,
Yeah, he
it
was
was
really dominant.
filthy. And you
Mhm.
kids that are just now getting into the NBA or got into the NBA in the last like 4 years, I feel bad for you because
Mm-hmm.
because Kawhi
No,
Leonard
Kawhi
hoops.
Leonard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kawhi Leonard prime hoops was insane, and we got to see that in Toronto, where they
Mm-hmm.
just inserted him and they went to the fucking moon. So
Mm-hmm.
good call out. I love that. My next what if,
Mm-hmm.
and I've said this before, and this is a smaller one, is what if there was a situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me set the scene. Give a
Okay.
little ode to our old
Mm-hmm.
pal there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set the scene and say, what if Draymond, instead of getting suspended in the Cavaliers series, gets rightfully suspended in the OKC series? Because I want to
Mm-hmm.
bring a lot of people back. There was two
Mm-hmm.
games during that series where he kicked Steven Adams in the nuts, and a lot of people were like, "What the fuck? Where's the technical? He kicked him in the nuts," and then
Mm-hmm.
argued with the referees after he kicked him in the nuts. He should have gotten a technical, and he should have gotten suspended during that series. Which, in my eyes, I don't think OKC blows it after that, because you've seen what it did to the Warriors in the series with the Cavs. What if OKC actually wins that series because Draymond got suspended during that season,
Ooh.
and Kevin Durant goes to the finals with the Thunder? Kevin Durant's the one that wins the championship. Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Durant stays with OKC with an extension. Kevin Durant wins some chips in OKC. Sam
Mm-hmm.
Presti don't have to get all those draft picks that he
Mm-hmm.
got over time because Kevin Durant left. And you can say whatever you want. It's because Kevin Durant left that formed this dynasty that they have now.
Mm-hmm.
And then again on the Warriors end, they don't get Kevin Durant. So what happens with them? It kind of ties into what you said. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another what if
Mm-hmm.
I got.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that, bro. Listen, man. So listen, now that you went back to B-ball, I'm gonna go to football and stay in 2017. I love
Okay.
how we
And
doing
I'm
this
going to
right now, right?
NASCAR next.
Check it out. Okay. So in 2017, we also have someone who was drafted in the NFL. But what if Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Chicago Bears?
Oh,
The Chiefs dynasty never happens.
I don't.
Listen, do you see that? The Bears, who
Just one draft
never have
pick.
had a quarterback before Caleb Williams, right? It doesn't have to be 30 years. It could have been 20
Yes.
with a great quarterback that makes him a perennial contender, right? Changes the AFC entirely, right?
Who knows if Patrick Mahomes even succeeds? That's the other side of the coin.
It's so crazy. But he's Patrick Mahomes. It's hard for him not to
Of course.
succeed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But I understand exactly because it is Chicago and it
Because a
is
lot of it
the
was like
Bears.
not a lot of it, but like some of it was because of how well positioned the Kansas City Chiefs were and how he got to
Mhm,
sit and come in. He
mhm,
would have
mhm.
immediately had to start for the Bears, and they
Yes,
have a shitty
absolutely.
organization, so who really knows?
Mhm. Yes,
Okay,
man. You
I
get
like
and
that.
listen, Andy Reid is still trying to shuffle and bustle with whatever he has out there in KC. Oh man, we don't know.
Hell yeah. I look, man, I like that. I like that call out. So my next what if is baseball. I was joking
Mhm.
about the NASCAR thing because my NASCAR is
Okay.
basically like, what if Dale never died? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like that.
wow.
The
Oh wow.
the ramifications of that
Mhm,
would have been like Dale would have had an active hand in how NASCAR developed, and NASCAR wouldn't have fell off the way it did. That's my
mhm,
what if for that. But for
mhm,
baseball, my thing is what if Alex Rodriguez
mm.
went to college and never decided to get drafted out of high school? Now, the reason I say that is because there's a
There's too many
documentary out
ramifications.
there there's a documentary out there that I want everybody to watch that really digs into A-Rod's like life, his career, everything. I believe it's on HBO Max. It's literally just called A-Rod, where they
Mhm.
break down everything from the point he started to now. And where he started is
Uh-oh.
that he was the number one draft pick. He got all that popularity, and that's kind of what started the asshole A-Rod, was because he was the number one pick out of high school. He was one of the best baseball players ever on earth. But if he doesn't get that treatment and he just regularly goes to college, comes into the MLB as a top player, is more mature on the maturity aspect, maybe he wins more championships. Maybe he does not take steroids. Maybe he does end up the best MLB player of all time. Just that little thing, because I think what happened was that he got that fame way too early. He didn't
Mhm.
know what to do with it because he didn't have the right mentors in his corner. I think going to college would have gotten mentors in his corner. He would have came in. He would have been a darling. He would have probably been the most everyone's favorite fucking baseball player instead of everyone's like fucking worst nightmare. But
Mhm.
that's what I have. That's
I
that's it
love
for
that.
me on the what
That's
if.
That's kind of dope though, because it's kind of crazy because there's so much that came out of that. We probably don't have Anthony Edwards in
Yeah.
Minnesota right now if
And he
he's
probably doesn't sign
a
that
Rod.
ridiculously right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
we
He
probably,
probably
like,
had a better
he
team.
probably doesn't get that big contract with the Rangers either. He probably gets it a couple years down the line with someone else.
Mhm.
But that
Mhm.
contract he got with the Rangers really ruined him because
Mhm.
you hand a young motherfucker, 200 some million. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So listen, man, I'm gonna take us back a little bit earlier, but I know this
Okay.
is the one that everybody is
Close us
probably
out,
talking
Kem. This
about.
is closing us out right here.
All right. This is probably the biggest butterfly effect in sports history in a what
Okay.
if situation. What if Tom Brady never replaced Drew Bledsoe in 2001?
Wow.
There isn't even a GOAT debate in football. There is no Patriots dynasty. There is no Randy Moss in that super season with the Patriots, right? When everybody thought he
I
was
could
washed.
argue this, but I'll let you have it. I'll let
How
you
could
have
you
it.
argue this? How could
Well, because
you
like, I think,
argue
like
this?
because like, I think, like,
Drew
with Tom Brady, they
Bledsoe.
took care, like,
Whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
franchise
whoa, whoa,
took
whoa, whoa,
care
whoa,
of
whoa,
Tom.
whoa. But whoa, 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 whoa. I just want to tell you something because I was alive and kicking.
Yeah, Bledsoe was a dog. I know what you're gonna say.
Drew Bledsoe was played out of that job in that injury. In any other case,
He's the starter
it ain't no
for the next few
question, bro.
years.
He was not done. He was brought there. You understand what I'm saying? To kind of revive them. You understand what
And
I'm saying?
Brady was
Remember,
drafted in
remember,
the
I'm a
last
Jets
round.
fan,
Yeah,
bro. Like the
yeah.
road always runs through
That's
us.
fair. Okay,
Like
I see
those,
what
you
you're
know what I
saying.
mean?
I see what you're
Like,
saying.
I can't say that, brother. I'm being honest. And I watched Drew Bledsoe because Drew Bledsoe was also a cowboy, which was always America's team. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? So, wow, here we go. That conversation that is our conversation and that is the media's conversation has always been the conversation. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's kind of hard, bro, to believe, you know what I mean, that there would be a GOAT
Okay,
debate. You know what I mean? If he doesn't, or just a
I respect
Patriots
it.
dynasty, because I don't know if Drew could have, you know what I mean, finessed the dynasty. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think you
But
could. I mean, they would have been nice, but like they
mhm,
wouldn't. I don't think
mhm,
maybe they win a Super Bowl once in those 5
mhm,
years instead of I think
mhm,
it was what 3 years or whatever it was, or
mhm,
three Super Bowls or whatever. Yeah,
mhm.
I
So
hear it. I don't think
okay,
I can argue that anymore. You got me. You got me
okay.
there.
All right.
So let's get out of here. But I want one
Mhm,
more quick take before we get on out of here. I want to
mhm,
know, as of right now, with any games played without a draft being had, who
mhm.
is the best NFL team in your eyes in the AFC and the NFC? And then let's get on out of here.
Man, so right now, with all parts being as they are, if we are the NFC, I gotta stay with Philadelphia, right? I'm not moving off of that, even with, you know what I mean? I
Until they
believe,
trade AJ, I can agree.
yeah, absolutely. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and then if we were to ever even think about what's the best landing spot for him, it's still Philadelphia. You understand what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
Just traded for Wicks from Green Bay. So I don't know if that means
yeah,
that we
man.
are definitely
It's
trading AJ Brown, but
Hey, yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't it don't matter, you know what I mean? And that reinforces why they're still the best because he's Wicks is not no slouch and he can do
he's
exactly what
not. I
AJ
like him.
Brown did
Yeah.
for sure and be happy. You
Because
understand what I'm
if
saying?
Smith is gonna be
So,
the number one, they're gonna need a bunch of
yeah.
guys like Wicks surrounding
Mhm.
him because
Mhm.
it's not gonna be fun with Smith as the number one. I'm not looking forward to it. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even though Seattle won, you know what I mean?
right.
I still, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna, move
It
off
was
of
weird in Seattle. It was like some
Yeah.
people left. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
We'll
Yeah,
have to see.
that's all over,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that was a one and done.
It was kinda like they prepared to
Mhm.
win that one chip and they're just
Yeah.
like, "Fuck it."
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
And
and
they
it
just
costs.
showed
And it
yeah,
costs a lot of money, you know what I mean? They
it
don't
did,
have
it
that, you know what I
did.
mean? They paid Sam that
JSN's getting a
offseason all that
stupid amount of money now,
and
so
they
they better
paid
hope
Sam all
that
that
boy
money,
don't get
so
hurt.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, then now if we
Okay.
move to the AFC, right, I think it still is a two-headed monster, you know what I mean? Like, without a question for me. I think it's still Josh and Lamar's, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
either one is gonna put their
I
big
like
boy
it.
draws on when it comes to the playoffs, you know what I mean? Like, whichever one's gonna do it first, you know?
That's fair.
But I think that
Oh, you think one of
with
them are actually doing it this year coming up?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's about
It's
that
hard.
is it finally that time,
It's
man?
finally that time, bro.
Is it finally that time we see one of
Yeah,
those
bro.
2 win, man?
Yeah,
Because
bro. I
this year
think so.
seemed like the perfect year, and we got fucking let down yet again.
Word up. Word up. I'm not gonna lie
That's
to you.
football for you. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so me on the AFC side, I'll start on the AFC. I don't
Mm-hmm.
got those guys. I
I
actually
like
have
it.
I have the Denver Broncos, and they were
Okay.
the number 1 seed last year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't subtract. They added
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Waddle, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. What those
That's
guys
crazy.
went through with Bo Nix getting hurt in the last game, I think they're gonna be hungry. They're gonna be mean. That defense is
Mm-hmm.
already tough, but I think they're gonna be aggressive. I think they're gonna be tough. I think they are gonna be a hard. I'm not saying undefeated season, but I would not be shocked if they go like 15-2, 16-1, something in that range. I think that highly of Denver right now. And second, man, this gonna sound real silly of me, but I've been on the train and I can't get off the train. I have the Dallas Cowboys. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
Go ahead. You're
The
fine.
reason why I go
I'm
with the
not gonna
Dallas
laugh.
Cowboys is because we have to consider one thing here. Well, two things. One is that they had one of the best offenses ever last year. Got cut short by them not making the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But at one point, they were number 1 in points scored. They were number 1 in yards. They were number 1 in everything. That season that they had, even with the terrible last, game and the couple of bad games they had, was the
Mm-hmm.
4th best offense the Dallas Cowboys have ever put on an NFL football field.
Mm-hmm.
However, unfortunately for them, they put up the worst defense that their franchise has ever put up.
2
But
times.
the thing with that, is that the Dallas Cowboys, they don't need a great defense. They just need something to get them by. They need a defense that's not going to give up points every single time they step on the field. They need a defense that will get you stops every now and then. They don't need the most elite defense. They just need one to get through because them boys are going to score 30 points a game again. And the thing that's scary about that is that that's 1 year of chemistry under their belt. Everything that the Dallas Cowboys went through last year is going to be what catapults them into this year. And that's how I'm ending this. It's weird, yes, an Eagles fan saying that the Cowboys are going to be the best team in the NFC, but I believe it, man. I believe in that. There's no distractions. He didn't marry the girl. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You're wild.
Listen, man, if you guys like that, make sure you guys subscribe, join the conversation. Me and Kem, we actually have a lot of ideas churning for you guys. We're about to get this going. We're about to hit the gas. I don't know why I keep disappearing from the screen, but with that being said, we are going to get on out of here. We guys hope you
Yo,
enjoyed. There's not another
easy.
place with the best laughs, the hottest takes, and everything different. Join us. So Monday this will release. Tuesday we got a baseball stream. Thursday is going to be a different conversation. Friday will be 2 live streams, and we have fun plans for every single weekend moving forward. Make sure you guys get it. We want you guys on this journey. Peace out. We're out. Hit the music.
I don't know what I was doing. I was hitting the wrong thing.
Yeah, bro, you was kicking me off the screen.
Yeah, I was. Hold on, yo, I gotta run. Yo, I gotta read something at the store. I'll be right back. I'll be right
No,
back.
that's all good. Great episode, brother.
Yes, good shit.